Om Namah Shivaya. Today I am going to speak about the internal details of yoga. In now this modern age, people are looking into yoga in a different perspective and aspect of learning and knowing about yoga. It becomes a questionnaire. Yoga by itself is a very old knowledge. It belongs to Vedic period. Yoga has been into this world more than 10,000 years before. The science of yoga was first preached by gods and goddesses. It started from the lineage of Shiva, Lord Shiva, the universal consciousness. And later, by meditating on yoga, Shiva created 84 lakh species to this world. And he wants to leave the job for opportunity of creating and in the creations. He wants to give the knowledge of yoga to sage Patanjali. So sage Patanjali appeared in front of him, and by penance, sage Patanjali expertised himself in the Ashtanga Yoga. So now the world knows about this Ashtanga Yoga. They are the 8 limbs of yoga. For a common man's perception or overview of what yoga is, what is a yoga? A simple question. There would be millions of answers from people's view. Some may even think yoga as an exercise. Yoga is nothing but a bodily movements and correcting the postures and correcting the physical ailments or diseases. Lot of ideas and thoughts going on what yoga is. Exactly, yoga is a science. In Sanskrit, yoga means to unite, to join together. To join together means the body and mind is an association. We are the consciousness individually, and we connect to the God consciousness. So the individual person, the individual consciousness, when it attains the purity to the divinity, it connects the universal consciousness. And that is exactly told in Sanskrit. Yoga, yuj, to join with, means to merge the individual consciousness to the universal consciousness, is an art and science which is taught in yoga. The highest concentration techniques are available in yoga. So to a common man who is now looking in this word yoga, it becomes a passion to the Western world. From India to West, the yoga has been traveling with a lot of ideas and overviews. Millions of people teaching yoga in different styles. The exact knowledge of yoga is only scripted in Ashtanga Yoga. As per the Ashtanga Yoga, sage Patanjali divided the 8 steps, the moral values of 8 steps of yoga as yama, niyama, asanas, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana and samadhi. These are the 8 steps. Ashta anga. Ashta means 8. Anga means the parts of a body. So the 8 parts of the body is divided into the yam, niyam, asana, pranayam, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. So the yoga begins with the yama and niyama. What is yama? Then the question goes like this. And to talk about yama, these are all the observances in the process of cleaning the self and the inner self. Means Yama has the most valuable morals, means to know inner self, the consciousness, one needs to be pure as the soul of a God. So the moral values can be characterized. So the Yama is exactly the moral ethics, the moral values, codified as 5 yamas. They are Satya, Ahimsa, Ashteya, Aparigraha and Brahmacharya. These are the 5 yamas. And Satya means truthfulness. So the most valuable yama in teaching of Ashtanga Yoga is Satya. Satya means it's very hard to live in truthfulness. Nowadays this modern lifestyle is making people to behave strangely, like truthfulness is not there in the consciousness. That's the major potential problem of this world. So yoga in 10,000 years before Vedic knowledge started with the moral value teaching on Satya. Means how a person can become truthful. Means if you are truthful, you are a characterized person. Then comes the Ahimsa. Ahimsa means no violence. As we are all aware of this modern world, this is almost like we are in the 2014. And violence has become a common issue in the society. Even the smallest thing is not acceptable between two persons, it ends in violence. A country, a border of two countries, always there is a violence. Or a war waging from one country to another country, there is a violence. In home, in attitudes of people's behavior, in the mind of the people, there is always a violence is traveling in the line of the consciousness. So Ahimsa is exactly teaching to not to be violent in the consciousness and mind, to avoid the violence. So that's Ahimsa. Then comes the Ashteya, non-stealing. The value of Ashteya is to not to steal even a thought or any object or anything which is not belonging to us. That means stealing is one of the very commonest habit of humans, or anyone who is having the stealing habit cannot prosper in life. That's one of the important values in Ashtanga Yoga. The Yama is teaching the Ashteya, not to steal anything. And Aparigraha, no possessiveness. We don't even possess this physical body. We are born from a speck of dust. Out of the dust we are developed into a grown human. So we don't even belong to this body. So the possessiveness is bringing the uncivilized attitude like greed, jealous, anger, frustration. All kind of evil and inhuman attitudes are born out of the possessiveness. So Aparigraha means non-possessiveness. We should not possess anything in our life. And then comes the Brahmacharya. Brahmacharya is one of the most valuable path of practicing the purity of self. Means one has to become a celebrity by themselves. Means Brahmacharya is known as the Brahmacharya. Knowing the absolute self in the consciousness, becoming that knowledge in self is Brahmacharya.